The JRPG is a time-tested genre that spans back to the early days of gaming consoles. Some of the oldest franchises that are still popular today are JRPGs, like Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, and Shin Megami Tensei. These are games with large parties of characters, incredible stories, and finely tuned, typically turn-based gameplay. However, with how busy people are these days, it's hard to find time to sit down and play a JRPG on the big screen. Fortunately, the Switch just so happens to be home to some of the greatest Japanese role-playing games of all time. If someone is looking for the best JRPGs on Nintendo Switch, Metacritic can help to make their next game purchase. Welcome to Game Rant, my name is Geoffrey, and today we are going to look at the best of the best JRPGs on the Switch via their Metacritic scores. So let's dive in. Number 10, Dragon Quest Builders 2. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is quite a leap away from the traditional Dragon Quest games. It takes more cues from Minecraft than it does Dragon Quest, which is certainly a choice. The player must rebuild a world on the brink of destruction and defeat a god through the power of friendship, as is tradition. For fans of the first Builders game, the sequel is everything from the first and so much more added on top. It has more things to build, more quests to complete, more characters to talk to, and a bigger world overall to explore. There's a ton of game to play. At times, there's a bit too much game to play. However, in dollar per hour value, this game is hard to beat. Number 9, Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age. Final Fantasy XII likely needs no introduction. The story of the Sky Pirate Balthier and Princess Ashe is one that many fans aren't likely to forget. It has its problems, mostly all loaded into the oatmeal-like main character of Vaughn, but aside from that, it's a classic. The Zodiac Age alters the game significantly. While the license board in the original is far from perfect, the new job system added in the re-release fixes any of those problems and adds plenty of variety for building characters. It's still somewhat of a grind and definitely a tad slower, but the world of Ivalice is just so wonderful to explore. Number 8, The Legend of Heroes: Trails from Zero. The Switch has become a great device for Nihon Falcom JRPGs, and Trails from Zero compares well to any other project released by the developer. Originally a 2010 PSP Japanese exclusive, this game took more than a decade to make it to the West. Thankfully, age has done little to dilute this title's brilliance. The Legend of Heroes: Trails from Zero serves as an ideal entry point into this universe since it tells a fairly self-contained storyline. Set in Crossbell, a city-state caught between the Calvard Republic and Erebonian Empire, Trails from Zero follows a detective as he investigates this world's criminal underbelly. Using a fun grid-based combat system and set within a fully realized world, this remaster should be able to keep someone engaged for a good 50+ hours. Number 7, Monster Hunter Rise. The question, is Monster Hunter Rise actually a JRPG? The answer, who cares? Monster Hunter Rise is the latest entry in the series, returning to a portable console after its brief stint on traditional consoles with Monster Hunter World. This entry contains a vibrant new setting and a collection of new and old monsters to hunt, capture, and turn into a hat for the many animal companions. This series may be one of the most refined in terms of trimming excess mechanics. There's almost nothing that gets in the way of the gameplay loop of hunting monsters. Additionally, despite using Nintendo's online service, the online is surprisingly stable. It's great for both extended gameplay sessions and pick-up-and-play hunts. It's a fantastic game and one that can be recommended to those who aren't even familiar with the series. Number 6, NieR Automata: The End of YoRHa Edition. Surprisingly, NieR Automata: The End of YoRHa Edition runs well on the Nintendo Switch. It is capped at 30 FPS, which is to be expected, but this is otherwise a fantastic port. Square Enix, Platinum Games, and Yoko Taro's sci-fi game envisions a future stripped of humans, casting players as androids caught in the middle of a war against robots. NieR Automata's narrative is one of its strongest features, and the story builds nicely as it introduces new playable characters and multiple endings. No, you should not stop after the first one, just FYI. Gameplay-wise, Platinum Games crafted a hack-and-slash system reminiscent of titles such as Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, albeit slightly streamlined. NieR Automata takes place in a desolate open world that, while not all that visually impressive at times, reflects this universe's history well. Number 5, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Xenoblade Chronicles is the best JRPG of the 7th generation of consoles, and it's not even close. The world is beautiful and open, the music is gorgeous and powerful, and the story is classic in all the right ways. The cast of characters is diverse and loaded with fun personalities that have a lot of depth. Heck, even the side quests are often meaningful to complete, which is a rarity. The Definitive Edition re-release is just the best version of this game. The world of Bionis has never looked as vibrant as it does now. The reorchestrated music is a bit inconsistent in comparison with the original, but on its own is still pretty incredible. There's no reason for a JRPG fan to not play Xenoblade Chronicles, so get on that right away. Number 4. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is considered by many to be one of the best Nintendo Switch JRPGs. Monolith Soft's franchise has been a constant source of greatness, and the third numbered entry might just be the studio's most complete masterpiece yet. Unlike some previous entries, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 gets nearly everything right. The combat system is deep, but does not require 30 hours to comprehend. The world building is ambitious, and the characters are almost universally likable. This JRPG is huge in a way that hardly seems feasible for a console like the Nintendo Switch. Admittedly, this comes at a cost to the visuals, but some blurriness is an acceptable price to pay for such an epic and vast adventure. Number 3. Persona 4 Golden. Another Persona game, another JRPG masterpiece. Persona 4 Golden has aged beautifully, both graphically and narratively. The game's vibrant color palette lends its visuals a timeless quality, particularly outside the TV world, which acts as the campaign's main dungeon. Story-wise, the JRPG is a slow burner, like most of the franchise's entries, but its likable characters keep things interesting until its plot begins to pick up some momentum. If someone can only purchase one JRPG Switch release, they should pick up Persona 5 Royal, spoiler alert. However, its predecessor provides a lot of content for a lower price tag. Number 2. Dragon Quest XI-S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. Whew, that sure was a mouthful to say. Dragon Quest, or the artist formerly known in the West as Dragon Warrior, likely needs no introduction at this point. As the original JRPG franchise, there's a lot that gaming as a whole owes to the Dragon Quest series. And on top of its historical importance, Dragon Quest XI is also just outright one of the greatest RPGs of the past decade. Everything that's good about JRPGs is found in Dragon Quest XI. It has a vibrant cast of characters, each with their own struggles. The story takes unexpected twists and turns that constantly subvert player expectations. The music isn't even MIDIs this time, well, mostly, which is delightful. And on top of all of that, the gameplay is as perfect as turn-based RPGs can get. Plus, with such a generous demo available on Switch, it's worth sampling for any fan of RPGs or games in general. Number 1. Persona 5 Royal. This highly rated JRPG is now available on most modern platforms, and, unsurprisingly, Persona 5 Royal is invariably one of the best games on all of these systems. The Phantom Thieves are iconic by this point, and their lengthy story is filled with heartbreak, intrigue, and moments of unbridled triumph. Persona 5 Royal's gameplay loop revolves around 2 sections: social simulation and dungeon crawling with turn-based combat. The latter is reasonably straightforward, particularly the battle system. However, it is elevated by a stylish presentation and a really enticing monster collecting system designed around continuously cycling through personas rather than just sticking to a fixed party. The dungeons are well designed and engaging, but an argument could be made that Persona 5 Royal's highlight is its social sim aspect. Players step into Joker's shoes, experiencing the character's most exciting and also mundane moments. They get to socialize with their peers, eat at restaurants, attend school, and maybe even go on a date or two. And there we have it, the 10 best JRPGs to enjoy on the Nintendo Switch right now, at least according to Metacritic. Thanks so much for watching this video. Be sure to stop by the comment section to let us know which JRPGs have captured your time and attention on the Switch. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Game Rant for more top-notch content, and please do like the video and share it around. We'd really appreciate that. You can also head on over to GameRant.com for even more delightful gaming content. Have a truly wonderful and happy day. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.